Welcome to week 11 of Bucks Weekly, which is a final installment for the 2017 fall sports season. And I'm Ben Robinson, and we were going to kick things off with the Band of Buck Pride. Unfortunately, Jessica Moore couldn't make it this week, but we want to congratulate the band who qualified for the state band competition, which was to take place this past Sunday. Unfortunately, the band competition at state got canceled because of weather. So we will start things off this week with cross country, and we will talk to Paige Boehringer, state qualifier, and Coach Josh Long right after this message from a generous sponsor.
Hello, my name is Ron Sutherland, President of Covington Savings and Loan. We have been a part of the Covington and the surrounding community since 1886. We have been serving both savings and loan customers and help promoting home ownership. Stop by and talk with Jason for your lending needs, or see Diane in Brooklyn for all your savings needs. Thank you for your continued support to help Covington Savings and Loan continue to support the Covington community. FDIC approved.
Welcome back to week 11 of Bucks Weekly. We're here with junior Paige Boehringer and coach, cross-country coach Josh Long. And Paige is coming off of her third trip to the state cross-country meet, and she placed 42nd at state. So Paige, congratulations, and can you tell people about your experience at state this year?
Well, it was a lot different than my first 2 years because both my freshman and my sophomore year I had made it with my team, so there had been 7 other girls there with me. So it was a lot different because it was only me and the friend I brought. So it was different, but it was fun. I mean, I'm just thankful that I got to go and compete.
And so, what was your time? Did your time increase or drop from last year, or I know your placement went down? So how was your time?
I mean, my time was a season PR, but it wasn't like my best time ever. I mean, that's all you can ask for is a season PR. I mean, just improvement is good.
And Coach Long, it's good to have another state qualifier for the cross-country program.
Absolutely, we're blessed. So proud of Paige and proud of all of our kiddos. But just to have the opportunity to run there again, it's not easy. As she said, we've qualified the last 2 years for a team. Very close there again this year. Had a shot at it. Paige knew we'd be close. She also wanted to qualify as an individual, and she was able to do that. And to go on that, as far as her time. Best time of the season, and she beat quite a few kids that she didn't beat the week before at regional. So she ran outstanding, and just again, it's a long season. You start training early in the summer, and you thankfully you keep your health. And she's had that for 3 years, and I'm already super excited about next year. And she knew that. So basically after me, I said I can't wait for next year to see what you can do, because it's she's going to have a great senior year. And part of that's just going to be working hard.
And our cross-country program over the years has been really consistent about getting kids to state and things like that. What I assume it's a work ethic.
Absolutely.
Or is it the coach?
It's nothing I'm doing, obviously. So as I said, we're blessed, and we've had great kids who work very hard. If it was anything I was doing, all the kids would be as fast as Paige. So it's not that. And just to recap a little on all our season, our boys worked just as hard, and had a great season as far as for their success, and I think they did a super job. Our girls again worked super hard, put in the miles, did what they needed to do. It's not easy to get to that point where she's at, and I think sometimes you take that for granted as you start having success, whether it be league championships or whether it be qualifying for state. Sometimes we take it for granted, but it's done by hard work. It helps to have good genetics, but it is we've been blessed. I mean, and whether we make it that far or win anything, all we can ask our kids ever to do is work their tails off and give us their best, and that's what ours do. And that's from our first runner, to our 12th runner or whoever that may be. That's what we preach. So, and goal is to have fun and improve while we're doing it.
So Paige, what's your goals for next year? It'll be your senior year.
I just want to go out with a bang. I would definitely just like to run. I definitely want to drop my time down a lot, and I'm just going to train really hard and make it happen. I definitely want to make it back to state next year and really compete.
Has Covington ever had a 4-time state qualifier in cross country?
Our first one was last year, and that was Anna.
Anna, so she could be the second.
Yeah, yep. So we've been, so why not do that again next year? And again, it should happen, and she's going to have a great year next year. I think I got goals in my head, and mine are always crazy, but it's because you got to be really optimistic, and then try to get those. And I know she's going to work. She'll work her tail off next year, so that'll be exciting.
Well, congratulations to the cross country team and also to Paige Boehringer for qualifying for state for the 3rd straight year, and good luck to her next year for hopefully to become a 4-time state qualifier. We will be back with more Bucks Weekly after this message.
Covington Eagles does a lot for this school and this program. We need to give them some thanks. On 3, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Covington Eagles, yeah! Thank you, Covington Eagles! Thank you, Covington Eagles! Thank you, Covington Eagles! Thank you, Covington Eagles! Woo! Thank you, Covington Eagles, for all you do for Covington schools. Go Bucks! Woo!
Color Green Photo offers a variety of photographic options for high school seniors, weddings, and families. We pride ourselves in providing creative and captivating images that have a special meaning to those we shoot. Please visit colorgreenphoto.com to view samples of our work and contact us at 937-418-0417 to schedule your next photo session.
We're back with week 11 of Bucks Weekly, the final installment for the 2017 fall sports season. And Coach, boy, time flies. This season really flew by.
Oh, it absolutely does. The off season seems like it takes forever, and we're counting down the days till kickoff. But as soon as it gets here, it's like you blink an eye and it's over. It just blows my mind every year how fast it goes by.
Okay, and then coming into the season, we knew coming in that we lost a pretty good senior class, but we also had a lot of talent coming back, and we also knew that we were going to have a very tough schedule, and this was really the toughest schedule we've had, I would say, since the old Southwest Rivers Conference days back in the 80s. So just kind of coming in, we had that, had all those obstacles we had to overcome and things like that. So, kind of your assessment pretty much of the season with the schedule and then what we had coming back from last year.
Well, obviously last year I came into a great situation. We had a great senior class. I've talked about those guys quite often, and I still bring those guys up because it was a great group. We went 11-1, only had a couple close games. They were great leaders, but about 7 or 8 of them played significant amount of time. Anytime you lose at a school our size, the guys that play both ways, guys that, 7, 8 guys, that's a lot. And so it's always tough for everybody, but I feel like at Covington we can reload, and we have the talent, and I know we had a lot of talent this year, and we continue to have talent. But yeah, the tough schedule, I don't want to make excuses. We did play a tougher schedule. With our older schedule, it'd be easy to say we would have won a couple more games, but we didn't have that schedule. Hindsight's 20/20. Everybody, can say those things. We don't know. The proof is in the pudding, and we didn't get it done. It was obviously a tough year. 3 really close games, tough losses. You would hope that we'd get one of those. We won one close one in that last week, that mud fest that we were in with Trail with that torrential downpour, but we lost 3 close ones that I thought you flip a coin, in those games, and we out-yardaged East and Bethel by a ton, and still just plenty of mistakes that were fixable mistakes, and that's the frustrating thing for us as coaches and as the players coming back. And then if you're a senior, it's really got to bother you. A lot of them are fixable things, like jumping off sides, blatant penalties, turning the ball over, things that you can control as a player. But it wasn't the year that we had hoped it to be, unfortunately. Hate it for the seniors. And if the younger guys can't be motivated from this season, I don't know what will. But obviously I'm more motivated than ever. I'm going to put in the time that I always do, but there's an extra chip on my shoulder as well, as I have a tough time handling losing. I think all of us do that are competitors, especially when you think you have a team that left some out there that we could have won some games, and those will haunt you, and we have to turn it into a positive. And so for me, it's just to work harder and work on the things that what we need to fix.
Well, in regards to our schedule being tougher, I mean, that's what we want. I mean, we want that. We wanted that for years. I mean, and we fortunately now we have it. Well, now next year we got to prove that we can compete and win with that schedule.
Absolutely, I'd much rather have this schedule and go, maybe not 10-0, but go further in the playoffs than to have the old schedule and go 9-1, 10-0, and lose in the first round. So I think we need to be ready for it, and it's good for us. And we were a young team. We started 6 sophomores, but I don't want to make excuses. But those guys are no longer sophomores anymore. And we have a junior class of 3 or 4 guys that are going to be seniors now that have played a lot. We've had 5 or 6 sophomores that have played a lot. So we have 8, 9 guys coming back that have played a significant amount of football. So there shouldn't be excuses on experience, and now we know what to expect out of those teams, and we're right there. It's not like we're getting blown out. Minster, we outplayed them in the second half. Of the first half, they did kick our butts. St. Henry, we're right there in the first half. They kicked our butt in the second half. It's not like we're not there. It's not like we're not close. But we need to bridge the gap. And hopefully these younger guys are extra motivated in the offseason. But, yeah, absolutely, we welcome the challenge. I know our players are excited about the tougher schedule. I don't think that they want the old schedule. They like this. They like to be challenged. So, and I love our kids for that. They want to be challenged, so we're excited about it.
So what do you see as far as leadership coming back? Who do you look at as your key leaders that you'll have next year?
I think Parker Dysinger really stepped up this year in crucial situations. I remember, and I told him this, and I told the team this in front of everybody. Mine East, we were down by I think 3 scores going into the fourth because of some mistakes, and our kids battled back great, but came up short. He was one of the few guys, and when we're down, he's still, guys, we can do this, come on, stick together, and he's, your true leaders sometimes come out in the worst situations, and nothing effaces that kid. His head is always on right. He leads by example. He's not a hypocrite, and he works his tail off, and I was glad for him. He battled some injuries, but I was glad for the season he had. He's a great leader coming back. Ian Wilson, Ian's a tough, hard-nosed kid. He just needs to obviously sometimes be able to control his emotions, but kids really will listen to him, and Ian's just a tough, hard-nosed kid. Ton of experience coming back. He's played, I believe, since he's a freshman. So, he's a guy that can bring a lot of things leadership-wise. Hopefully Eli and Gavin McReynolds with experience on the line will lead. We'll see. Very nice young men, but, they didn't show a lot of leadership this year in terms of being vocal, but Eli leads by example on how he plays on the offensive line. Like I told the kids, you don't have to be a vocal guy as long as you're leading by example, but we want some people to step up and take on those vocal roles, and Parker got more vocal as the year went on. I think that Cade Schmelzer, even though he's only going to be a junior, I think that he is a good leader. Your quarterback position typically are, quarterbacks typically are, but he got more confident as the year went on, and he's a natural leader, so I think he will as well. I think that Braden Wiggins is out of that class as well, with his work ethic and his tenacity. I think some kids flock to him. But it'll be interesting to see, with the leaders coming back, that the juniors going to be seniors. Like I said, 3 or 4 of them I could see it, and then the sophomores being juniors, I could see some of those other guys. We just have a lot of quiet, nice kids on off the field, but on the field we have some tough kids, but just not a lot of vocal guys, which is fine. This team coming up, they don't have to be vocal necessarily, but hopefully they are in the right opportunities and the right times to get on guys to pick it up when they need to and hold each other accountable. And that's the thing that I look forward to seeing this group, and I hope that us as a staff and as players hold each other more accountable. And I think that will help with some success this year as well. But some of those other sophomores going to be juniors, got a lot of playing time. They could maybe step up. Andrew, Cates, Jesse Fisher, Nate Alexander. They got significant amount of playing time. Teague Deaton, and out of the freshman group, that Grant Babylon's a very vocal young man. So as he gets older, and Trenton Alexander, and there's some good leaders coming as well. So we have some good players and some good leaders coming, and you never know who's going to really step up. You have ideas of who, but those are the kids that I can see right now. We'll see as the off season goes on.
So what are you looking for in the off season from the kids to get ready for 2018?
Well, I think that they have to get a lot stronger. I think that the MAC teams beat us up front, and I think our linemen have to get bigger and stronger. They have to. They have to get stronger. And our skill guys have to continue to get stronger. I think we have to get faster. I think that we were slow off the ball, some of our linemen at times. So I think we need to work on our quickness. So that's something with bringing in Coach Sutherland. He's a former track star, so he's really good with the speed stuff and helping our kids be more flexible. I think we have some injuries we could have prevented if we would have worked on some of our flexibility stuff that hopefully Brian Downs will help bring to the table. So my focus is to make sure we're lifting safely, to make sure we aren't having any injuries, so some injury prevention, getting more flexible, which naturally makes you faster, working on our quickness, and then we have to get stronger in the off season. And then I want to see who the leaders are. I want to see guys that are going and putting in the extra time. If you want to be a state champion, if you want to beat St. Henry, if you want to beat Minster, if you want to beat those teams, you have to put in extra time. You can't just do the status quo. You can't just show up when we're there right before we go and leave right after. But you've got to put in the extra time. So I'm hoping that our best players are putting in the most amount of time. When your best players are your hardest workers and your leaders are consistent and hold each other accountable, you're going to have a good season. Well, those are yet to be determined. So I'm excited to see what guys are going to, and everybody grows, or certain kids grow in off season. Jesse Fisher had a monster off season last year, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to do this year. Parker had a huge off season last year, I thought. Joe Schmelzer had a huge one, So there's always certain kids that end up having a really good off season. I'm excited to see. Most of our kids have to play 3 sports, and we encourage it. We want them to. I want them competing. But if they're not in a sport, they better be in the weight room. And if they are, hopefully they're still finding time to lift, but going to compete with their buddies and do well in their other sports. But we are very excited. We're trying to put together a really good workout. Our off season is more important than anything to me right now. We have to have a huge off season because last year, let's just face it, wasn't good enough. So that's one thing we can work to get better in is get stronger and get faster.
Okay, well that's it with Coach Cates. Up next, we will close things out with one of the upcoming seniors, Parker Deisinger.
Hi, this is Don Solon, pastor at Fields of Grace Worship Center. We are a non-denominational church with a contemporary casual atmosphere. We are a church committed to reaching outside our walls while at the same time caring for those that call Fields of Grace home. Maybe you know Fields of Grace by all our community events. You are always welcome to come on over for a cup of coffee Sunday mornings and check us out at fieldsofgrace.org for service times.
This is Andy Johnson of Bucks Radio, the voice of Covington Buccaneers. Here to encourage Buccaneer fans to support local businesses. Your patronage of local businesses goes a long way in allowing them to continue to support Covington schools and Covington athletics.
We're back with week 11 of Bucks Weekly with junior and senior to be Parker Deisinger, who was outside linebacker and tight end. And Parker, can you give your assessment on how you felt the season went this year?
Well, we went 5-5, and at Covington, that's not okay.
Okay, so what are your goals next year as a team? It'll be your senior year, of course. So what do you see the team goals are for next year?
Always state championship and just be better than last year. Always have a higher expectation than coach does and just raise the bar even higher.
Okay, so of course you'll be a senior and you'll be counted on for leadership next year. So what do you feel you need to bring to the table to make that happen?
Just holding guys more accountable for what they're doing and have a great off season, working hard, work ethic.
So what are you doing individually to kind of do that as well? Like, are you doing extra work or?
Yeah, in the weight room with Mike Rimley and some other guys. We're hopefully get some more guys in there and lift weights and get stronger.
Okay, well that's Parker Deisinger, and close thing out for the 2017 fall sports season. We will be back in a couple of weeks, hopefully to begin the winter sports season. For Ben Robinson and Parker Deisinger, good night.
Go Bucks!